Howdy. Welcome back to another Dion Talk. Today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite strategies. And this strategy is how I get tenants to ask for rent increases and ask for longer leases. And this has generally worked with inherited tenants. So every time I buy a property and there's people already living in it, generally they're paying lower than the expected rents for the area because they've been in there a while. And the place is kind of falling apart because the previous owner is selling because they're tired of it, or they're at the final retirement stage and they want to offload the property. But here's what I do. I call this the binder. I prefer to buy rent-ready or already occupied properties because I'm way too lazy to do a full rehab and I don't want to have to go find a tenant. I've had really good luck with doing it this way. I make a binder of the property. The first page, 3-ring binder. The first page is a picture of the property and the amount that I paid for it. The actual amount that I paid for it. People have asked me, why would you share that amount with a tenant when, most people realize you can look it up online within a month or two and you'll know it anyways. The second page is a map that has the property on it from Rentometer with all the properties in the area that are the same number of bedrooms, bathroom count, and I try to use ones that either have or don't have a garage that are similar to the property that I'm purchasing. Then each page after that is a picture of that property that's around there and the amount that it's renting for. Most tenants have never been involved in the process of determining what their rent is, other than when they're hunting for a place to purchase, they look for a place that they can afford and one that they would like to live in. But when I sit down with the tenants and I show them this binder and I say, hey, here's the property, here's what I paid, here's all the rentals around here. Generally, if they've been in there for a number of years, the rents around there have gone up to where, an example would be a property that I purchased where the tenants were in there for $850 and $900 a month. The area average was $1,400 and $1,500. So I bought a place that would be great cash flowing property at $1,400 or $1,500. It would cash flow, it would meet my 10% return if I got $1,200 or more. But at $850 or $900, it really wouldn't cash flow. So I went and I sat with the tenants. One had been in there 13 years, one had been in there 10 years. And I said, here's what I paid, here's what all the rents are in the area. What do you think would be fair? And then I slide the binder across to them. So they actually get to have a conversation that determines how much their rent is going to be. And logically, they recognize that I could easily, since they're on month to month, not renew their leases, clean the place up when they move out and rent it out for $1,400 or $1,500. That's probably, as a business person, my best actual option. But like I said, lazy. Don't want to have to do a rehab. Don't want to relocate somebody. Don't want to disrupt their life. I've never had a tenant go, oh, it'd be great, I'll just pay the area average. But every single tenant I've done this with has asked for the rents to go up to just under the area average. Both of those tenants in that duplex are now paying $1,350 for their rents. They asked for it to go to $1,350. So they're not paying $1,400 or $1,500. They're not paying the average. And this does seem like a huge jump, $850 or $900 to $1,350. But this was at the tenant's request. They don't have to save up a first and last. They don't have to hope there's enough money from their deposit when they leave here, which they've lived there for over 10 years. They have no idea how much of their deposits they're going to get back in the renter's mind. So moving has expenses that they might not even be able to handle. But a rent increase below the area average, where they got to be involved in the decision-making process, makes them happy. And of course, I'm going through and fixing everything. I make sure every light switch, every plug-in, all the doors and windows work. I fix a deck at one, replaced a window in another because the seal had blown and it had the mist inside of it. But basically, when you start fixing things, the tenants expect you to raise the rent or kick them out and then raise the rent on the next person. I actually, in my last purchase, my last fourplex, one of the tenants, as I was fixing everything, came to me and they asked, without any conversation on my part, if they could raise the rent $155 a month if I would give them a year-long lease. I was happy with where the rent was. I would like it to be higher. $155 increase to take them from month to month so that I couldn't just not renew. Give them the peace of mind to have a year-long lease. Worked out for both sides. I said that sounds great, and to show them that I wasn't just all about the money, I said we'll delay it 90 days. So we'll start the lease now so you have that mental security of having a year-long lease. And in 90 days, the rent will go up to the amount that they suggested. Of course, check your area. There are rent control laws. You might not be able to raise the rent over a certain amount depending on the county that you're living in. For me, this has been very effective. I like really happy tenants. I like them to have the rent where they're happy with it. I like to take care of things. With this and about 5 other things that I use as criteria, in 10 years, I've had 1 turnover. And that was just because that person inherited a house. So I like to avoid turnover because it's expensive. I like to keep rents increasing to where I'm actually running a profitable business, but I don't want tenants paying more than they would be paying for the area average. So now you know the strategy that I call the binder. I hope I made it worth your time opening this video today. If you took anything from this, if you thought it had any value, please hit like, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with a friend. Hopefully they can learn from it. Until the next video, thanks for coming to my Dion Talk.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.